We're back.
We're back. Welcome back to Bookalicious. Let's just get right into it.
I love it. Welcome to Bookalicious, a podcast where two sisters chat about books we're reading. I'm Chrissy,
And I'm Candace.
and today we have no banter, all business. We're going right back to Starter Villain, Part 3, starting on Chapter 14. Charlie is at the villain conference.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, so honestly, I feel like we could kind of summarize all of it. This might be a pretty short episode.
Well, if it is, then we'll do the banter and we'll throw it in the beginning.
Yeah, I guess so. Good point. All right. So, chapter 14, Charlie's at the villain conference, and he meets Dobrev, who, in my mind, I'm imagining him as like this really big Italian man who's like super happy and chipper, but actually he's like head of the mafia or something.
Yeah.
So, he
Yeah.
meets Dobrev, and Dobrev says that he and Uncle Jake were good friends back in the day. And Charlie tries to scope this out to see if it's actually true. Dobrev asks to speak with Charlie alone, aka without Matilda. Matilda doesn't like this, but she lets him do it and warns Charlie not to agree to anything. Charlie and Dobrev go for a walk, and Charlie's like, kind of likes him, but is also kind of keeping him at an arm's length. Later, Matilda goes off on a soapbox about business bros, also shares that Dobrev may seem nice, but he's not actually on Charlie's side. And then
Can you explain who Dobrev is?
he's just one of the other villains, and he's one of like the founding members of the villain conference, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. He's the big cheese.
Yeah. Yeah, he is the big cheese. We learn also that Uncle Jake had always been invited to the villain conference, but he always declined. And so that kind of made all the other villains upset because this is kind of like where the stuff happens. But Uncle Jake was like, I'm going to make my own stuff happen and I don't need you guys. And
Mm-hmm.
it kind of turns out that it worked for him. So now everyone's is curious to see, will Charlie follow in the same footsteps as Uncle Jake, and will he run the business the same way, or is he going to join the Lombardi convocation, aka the villain conference? And Charlie says he could possibly be bribed, and he
Mm-hmm.
could be okay with that. And this doesn't seem to upset Matilda because she's, I don't know, all business, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. That's where Charlie is. He's meeting all these villains. They're trying to scope him out. He's trying to scope them out and figure out what's going on. No one's really been telling him how all this works. He's just kind of been figuring out on the fly. He meets Dobrev, and then they also see the pitch and pitch competition, which is when all these like basically like these frat boy businessmen, like fresh out of college, they want to make it
Mm-hmm.
big. They've been invited to this conference as a cover. I forgot that part. So what's really happening is it's a villain conference, but they have a business conference going on at the same time as kind of a cover for it. And so the
Yes.
villains are like the big investors for these up and coming businessmen. So the villains invited these young businessmen and were like, share us your ideas and you may find a sponsor here. So they do the pitch and pitch competition, which is when the frat boys share their brilliant ideas and they either will get a sponsor or they'll get pitched into the ocean. That's it.
Yes.
Those are the only two options.
Yes. It's like Shark Tank.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. It's like Shark Tank, but like literally they just like throw you out into
Throw
the
you to the
tank.
sharks.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that was a little rambly, but I think those are all the main parts.
I think the last thing is that we find out at the end. So the board of the Lombardi people, they're like, all right, we want you to join. And in order to join, we need you to give us 10% of your money. And
Yeah.
Charlie, he starts being like really clever and he just starts asking questions. So they're basically like, we want you to join and you have to put in like a down payment to join the group. So then Charlie's like, well, like, why did my uncle keep turning you down? Like, if being in this club is so
Right.
valuable. And I was like, oh, that's really smart.
That was.
They were just kind of like, your uncle didn't get it. Like, this and that. So then Charlie says, so Uncle Jake passed for business reasons the first time. And then he's like, well, what about the other times? And then they're like, oh, well, then it's because he had a grudge and he hated us and da 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 da. And they're saying, like, we know your uncle's business is better than you. Like, you don't know anything. Like, you're going to run the thing into the ground. Like, you really need us. So they want $100 billion as their down payment. And this is important. That's why I'm like going into all of this. But then when Charlie's like piecing it all together, he's like, wait a minute. the only reason why you want me to join is so that you can make $100 billion. He's like, which is a crazy sum when I don't really need you. And then he pieces out that the Lombardi people are all broke.
Oh, I don't even remember this part. I wonder if I skipped a chapter.
Yeah, that's chapter 17.
Yeah, I think I skipped it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I'll summarize it for you. So basically, what happens is that Charlie meets up with everyone at the secret Lombardi, like, head of council meeting. And each of the members are talking about like their businesses. And one by one, they kind of go about like, they're like, oh, I do this. And then they like kind of bring up like, oh, and then I did this. And then I lost all this money. And they kind of go one by one talking about how they made these bad business ventures, which I was like, this is an odd pitch.
Yeah.
So then they're like, Charlie, if we want you to join, but you need to give us $100 billion to join.
Okay.
Or yeah, because he's a trillionaire. And Charlie's like, this is crazy. Like, Uncle Jake never did it. He didn't see a purpose for it. I don't know why I should give you $100 billion, aside from the fact that he only has $5 million because the rest of his money is like tied up. So he can't even get them that if he wanted to. But he's like, I don't know why I should do this. And they keep trying to be like, well, you have to do it. Da, 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 da. And then he parses out. He's like, you guys don't have any money. He's like, that's why you want me in. And so then after that, Dobrev, the head cheese, he's like, he's the only other guy who has money. And he's like, yeah, he's like, these fools, they lost all their money and I've already loaned them stuff. And so they wanted to try to like sneak you in so that they could keep bankrolling their businesses. But he's like, yeah, they're broke and you're really smart.
I feel like it wasn't all that sneaky, that they were just asking for $40 million or whatever it was, 100 billion.
Right. I know. These guys who are running the businesses, they are all nepo-babies. They've all inherited the business from because this convention's been going on for hundreds of years, or at least 100 years or something. Yeah. So these are all like the second, third generation CEOs, kind of like Charlie. And they all made these bad investments and they lost all their money.
Okay, interesting.
So that's basically what's happened.
Yeah, I was impressed with Charlie throughout all this. I was like, wow, those are good questions. You seem to be doing very well considering no one has given you any like background on what's happening here. I was impressed.
Yes. And then the other part is that Dobrev, he keeps getting like assassination attempts at the conference. And Charlie like is like, this is crazy. And he's like, don't even worry about it. I have snipers everywhere. And so like an assassin like tries to come after him and then he literally just gets shot in the head and then wrapped up by the hotel employees in a bag. And then I don't know what they do with them, throw them in an incinerator. My first comment is that the conference is at the Bellagio on Lake Como.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And if you've been keeping up with the pod, me, my husband, and our parents just got back from Italy. And the first night we stayed in Milan and we went to Lake Como.
Did you see the Bellagio? Did you see the villain conference?
So the Bellagio is like one of the islands or like the destinations that you can go to in Lake Como. And Lake Como is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like one of like the number one, I guess, destinations for celebrities to go like get married.
Really?
Yeah, it's very, very beautiful, very picturesque. It's like if you go to Milan, it's like an hour outside of it and it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
And the first sentence of this chapter is, the Grand Bellagio Hotel is for the sake of absolute clarity, nowhere near Las Vegas. And that's because there's a Bellagio Hotel in Vegas. And it's like one of the most famous ones. And it has all of these fountains and things. Okay. And I was like, oh, that's fun because that is what I would think of if you say the Bellagio Hotel.
Yeah.
And then he says it's named after the commune of Bellagio, located on a promontory. All right, that's going to be one of our clues that juts out into Lake Como in the Lombardy region of Italy. And I thought that was just like really cool.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I do like he's kind of mixing some real things in with all the fiction to where I'm like, what's real and what isn't? Is there a villain conference?
I would say he does a good job of like putting on this like thin layer of like the villains and being like, yeah, I could see that. I could see them going there doing this crazy thing. Then he also mentions Pliny the Younger.
Oh, isn't he a pope or something?
So
Or
There's Pliny the Younger, and there's Pliny the Elder. And I wanted to look them up before this. Okay, it's also a brewery. Oh, so Pliny's dates are pinned to the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in AD 79. That's Pompeii. And statement by his nephew that he died in the 56th year. Okay. So it just seems like Pliny the Elder and his nephew, Pliny the Younger, they're like very like I've heard them throughout history. I didn't do enough time to actually do anything about it, but I just thought that was a fun note.
okay, they're not religious.
No, it looks like he's an author. He wrote a 20
What?
volume history of Germain wars, which it looks
Okay.
like it was lost in time.
Oh, okay. I was way off. Definitely not the Pope. They were
Yeah.
governors, though. Pliny the Younger was a governor.
Okay.
Okay. I think he had some like rulings though on like whether Christians could practice or something like that. I think that's what I was thinking of.
I would say like for as such a small blip in history that they lived, they seem to come up often. You know what I'm saying? Like
They did a lot.
they did a lot in those few years that they lived. So I thought that
Okay.
was interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting. Did anything else stick out to you from the villains, the frat boys, Dobrev?
I thought it was interesting, but again, this is kind of where I get into like, okay, we end on 160 and we're just now getting to the conference. And there's only like maybe 80 pages left.
That's it.
Oh, well, maybe it's
I'm reading
160 pages. Okay,
I'm
there's
reading on online and I really can't tell how much is left.
let's see. It ends on like 260. We have 100 pages.
It does feel like this should be like the halfway point or something. And we're over
Yeah.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like we're doing all this setup like what is going to happen? What is he going to do
Yeah.
with all this
Maybe
information?
maybe the end is not the point, it's the journey.
That could be.
So we're just seeing all of corporate America as the villains.
Mhm.
Cats are in charge.
Yeah, and I think like that last chapter that you didn't read, chapter 17, like I think that was like really a critique on just like nepotism and how you have these people who are running the world and they are just truly incompetent.
Yeah,
So some of
that makes sense.
the um so one of the people, his great great grandfather was a steel magnate who buddied around the Carnegie and Rockefeller, but didn't bother to match their philanthropy. The grandfather nearly bankrupted the company with an ill-fated proprietary alloy that was marketed as stronger and lighter than steel. It was, unless it got too cold, then it shattered in expensive ways. Yeah. Um, so I was just kind of like, you have these nepo people who are just trying to repeat the same thing that their forefather did and not trying to be inventive and change with the times. And so they're losing all of this money.
Yeah. Although, I mean, they're trying to invest in these other things because that sounds to be what Uncle Jake did was he just invested in other people.
Yeah.
But I guess the villains are just not doing a good job choosing good investors.
They're just, yeah.
Yeah, they're just kind of fools.
Yeah, they just kind of seem like goobs. And then it's like they're not even able to convince Charlie, who knows nothing, to give him $100 billion.
Yeah. What do you think about Matilda and all of this?
So this whole book, up until this point, I'm like, this is so like The Incredibles part
Yeah.
two, like the volcano, Matilda, all of this just feels like The Incredibles to me.
Mm-hmm.
And she just seems like perfectly okay, just doing whatever Charlie says. It's kind of weird because it seems like she should be the one running the company. She knows everything.
Well, I think she kind of is telling Charlie what to do. You don't think so?
I guess she is, but I'm surprised she's not like feeling a certain way about she's the one who knows everything and Charlie just gets to be in charge just because he's Charlie.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of seems like, well, it is interesting because when she said that she had to have like moral flexibility or something, she said that her job role was to like support Uncle Jake and whatever he wanted to do, not to say whether it was right or wrong. And so I wonder if she is kind of approaching it from like the all business kind of standpoint where it's like, I'm just here to get my paycheck. As long as I'm getting that, it's fine. It doesn't really matter whether this is right or wrong. I'm getting my paycheck. And so now like there's a new boss and she's like, well, still getting my paycheck. And that's all I want.
And maybe she doesn't want to be in charge because then
You'd be
she wouldn't,
assassinated.
well, that, but I think it's easy to do what you say and just like, well, I'm just doing this to get a paycheck because like this is my job. And you can kind of walk back your complicitness in the machine
Mm-hmm.
versus if you're the one who's like technically signing the papers, like you're the one who,
Calling the shots.
yeah, kind of like we talked about with Linus and Cerulean Sea,
Mm-hmm.
like he was able to pretend like he wasn't part of the problem because he's like, well, this is just my job.
Yeah.
And so maybe she doesn't want to be like the tip top boss because then she would have a harder time.
I could see that. Are there any other women villains though? Because one of the big things in the convocation is that it's all these men and like he's really going for like this frat boy satire stereotype thing, which is coming across like very, very strong and like all the men are, investing in them or whatever. And so like, that comes up a few times. So I'm wondering, is that also one of the critiques he's saying? It's like there's this woman who's so capable, but she's not
I
in the
could
leadership.
I didn't think of that particularly, but you're right. I did notice where it's like you have all of these men and they were all described as white men, except for the newest person that they hired in who is like South Korean. But you find out that they only let him in because they had to do the same thing where they were in a cash crunch 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And so then
Interesting.
they let in this guy who's like South Korean. So he's not like European white.
Yeah.
And so it does kind of feel like corporate America, where you have all of these old white men just, doing business, some of them
Yeah.
making bad choices. And then they only seem to let in minorities or other people when they're able to use them.
Benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
yeah, but there are no women, not one woman. And I was like, this is odd.
Yeah. I think that's part of his point, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that.
Interesting. Well, oh, you know what? I bet that could be a prediction. Charlie's going to be like, hey, Matilda, you should be in charge of this. I'm leaving. I'm opening my pub.
That would be interesting. I wonder what
Hmm.
Matilda would do with this thing.
I don't know because we don't really get her stance on anything. She is so far just kind of like doing what I need to do,
Yeah.
but she's not necessarily making decisions.
Well, in chapter 17, so in chapter 16 or whatever, one of those chapters, Matilda hits the button to throw one of the guys into the water. And so
Yeah.
then when Charlie's in the secret meeting, they're like, you shouldn't have let her do that. Like,
Oh,
no
I missed a
way.
lot in
Yeah.
chapter 17.
Yeah. Maybe you'll have to read it after. Um, but basically, they were like, you weren't even supposed, we only left you the button just to be nice. Like, you weren't supposed to hit it, and certainly not Matilda. And Charlie was
Uh,
just like, Charlie was basically went to her defense. I was just like, Matilda is like very competent. Like, what are you talking about?
yeah. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Do you see any other commentaries he's making, or are there any other themes that you see coming up in the book so far?
So in the pitch and pitch, these guys are coming up with these business ideas. And one of them I put, would you say yes or no? All right. So this is the pitch. College admissions are broken. We all know it. There's a better way to do it. Let me share with you my vision for a universal system where every student knows exactly where they stand in the competitive admissions process against every other student with minute by minute updates, opportunities for points boosts, sponsored by first-tier advertisers and corporations in an exciting, gamified atmosphere that makes college admissions the finest sporting event in the world.
I thought that was really creative satire because I'm like, I could see that happening. I would hate it.
And part of me was like, I like the idea of like, like where your rankings are and your standings, like on the front end, because it would save you time if you're like, okay, this is how my application stands with everyone else. Should I invest time applying there?
Yeah.
But then also something happens. You kind of get like this game theory going back to econ, where it's like if everyone sees their rankings and only the top 10 apply because they're like, oh, I'm guaranteed to get in, then you have people on the bottom who are like, well, I'm not going to get in, so I don't apply. Therefore, it makes you, even if you're a lower ranked person, higher chance of getting in because less people are applying because they don't think they're going to get in.
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyway,
there's a lot of issues with the gamification of college admissions, I think.
Yeah, it was a bad idea. There was another one. So they're talking about like basically emergency services, ambulances that are paid for with,
Yes.
I think like subscriptions or something. And they say if patients on the verge of death would not surrender the pertinent information, the EMT would offer to call a different ambulance service and move on. So like basically they go to you and they're like, do you want to pay? And you're like, well, how much is it? And you're like having a heart attack. And then they're like, I don't think so. And then they're like, all right, we'll go to the next person.
But I feel like with all these pitches, he is bringing up some real issues, and he's like, I don't know, like they're kind of too real almost.
Yes.
I think it's really good satire.
Yeah. I liked the pitch and pitch. I thought that was a good chapter. There was another part that I thought was important is that all of the like men in the board, they all have a table and a cat.
Right.
And that's like a sign of you've made it.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's another commentary too, that like there's this inner circle, and like if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the only way to get in is if you know,
right.
kind of thing. Which seems pretty real. Okay, so do they know that the cats are sentient, or is that only Uncle Jake?
Okay, so you really did miss a lot in chapter 17.
Oh.
So what happens is that all of the men, they're there in the hotel and they all have a cat. But only Charlie's cat is well behaved. All of their cats are like running all over the place being cats. Oh. And you find out that the reason why they did it, it looks like, is because Jake had this cat.
Oh.
And he was like best in the business. And they're all like, well, we'll get a cat.
Interesting.
But their cats aren't sentient. So then they're like, wow, you have a really well-behaved cat. They're like, where did you get it? And then let me see. Charlie, your cat is a delight. Thank you, I said. Hera laid out on the thick arm of the overstuffed chair. I like her too. Where did you find her? Dobrev said. She came out of the bushes outside of my house. Dobrev slapped his knee and looked at the other members of the convocation. You hear that? He said to them. Found in the bushes, a mutt cat, very American, very democratic. The rest of the convocation either smiled thinly or said nothing. Their cats were equally impassive, not like the rest of us. We all got our cats from breeders, Charlie. Only the best bloodlines for us. And then... Okay, so one of the founding members, Ian Fleming, he had a cat. And so then after that, everyone else had a cat.
Oh, I see. It just became a status.
It just kind of became a status. And then Jake made his cats sentient. And then they say somewhere else in this chapter, they're like, Jake had spies on us. They said, your uncle has spies in the convocation in each of our personal businesses. And I put the cats.
Oh, they don't know who the spies are.
They don't know who the spies are, but I'm like, I bet it's the cats.
Yeah. It's a great spy, honestly. Like, it's a great idea.
Yeah. And all these guys, they're like, oh, we only get it from the best. And I bet they're all the sentient cats. So
yeah. Oh, fascinating. Okay, yeah, I'll need to read chapter 17.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of where it put the whole conference together, was that chapter. That was kind of the payoff.
That sounds good. My numbers were messed up. I was like, what happened? But I was like, oh well,
Yeah. Well,
it'll be fine.
so I've been talking a lot. Do you have any comments on this?
Um, not not really a ton else other than what we've said. I'm curious to see where it's all gonna go because I do kind of feel similarly where it's like this has been a lot of buildup, and maybe most of it is just about the caricature. Maybe that's the main point. I don't know. Is Jake gonna be like our hero guy where it's like he is kind of the example of what to do you think? Or is this just like a fun story?
I have no that I guess that's where I'm like I'm flying blind in the sense of like I have no idea where we're going because I feel like nothing's happening. Not because I not like Frida where I'm like everything's happening and it could be anything. I feel like nothing's really happened. I mean, basically all that's happened is Charlie's uncle's dead. He inherited his business and now he's at a conference.
The most boring week ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like 4 days.
Yeah, I mean, we've learned a lot though. We know how the business works. We know about their villain layer, the villain conference.
I I feel like there I feel I guess I just feel like more action. I feel like there could have been more showing and less telling.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Like instead of spending all these pages like walking around like, oh, this is what it looks like and da 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 da. Like he could have been on a mission or something. Or like
Oh,
making business decisions and then like needing to like figure it out. I feel like there could have been maybe a different way to get that information across.
I could see that.
I don't know. That's kind of
Yeah.
where I'm at.
Okay, so instead of him having orientation, he just gets thrown into something.
Yeah.
Like we learn it along the way. Yeah, I could see that.
I feel like it would have made it more exciting, maybe.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. But I will say for all the descriptions, even though I'm not always a fan of the writing style, like it kept me engaged. I was
Yes.
I was entertained.
It's a fast read. It's definitely a fast read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, go for it.
Hmm?
I've been talking a lot.
Oh, well, I was gonna ask how are we doing on time and is it time for figure me outs or do you have more things?
I think it's time for Figure Me Out. We have 15 minutes.
Okay.
My last note is that one of the convocation people showed up with a white Persian cat.
Mm.
And I underlined that because in the orientation PowerPoint, they showed pictures of what a villain looks like. And one of them was a white
Uh,
Persian cat.
that's funny.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, that's it.
Good throwback.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ready for my first figure me out?
Yep.
All right, the word is hale. It says Dobrev was a large, hale, and in his 70s.
How do you spell it?
Hale.
Or hail? Oh, I have no idea.
I have no idea. The context doesn't say much. Large, hale, and in his 70s. I don't know. Maybe like grayish looking, like older, or maybe muscular. He's large.
I have
It
no
could be anything.
idea.
Oh, okay. Hale of a person, especially an elderly one,
Oh,
strong and healthy.
oh, okay.
He's only just 60, very hale and hearty.
Okay.
Interesting.
Cabal. All that matters is that they decided to form their little cabal.
Like inside group,
C A
or
B
maybe
A
like a
L.
party. I'm thinking like a gathering that's kind of party-esque.
I was thinking like a witch's coven. I feel like it has like
Oh,
some religious undertones.
oh, it could.
Nope, you were right. A secret political clique or faction. Cabal.
Oh, cabal. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Avuncular. Dobrev was
Avuncular.
back to his avuncular self.
Avuncular.
I don't know.
Unconventional? Because it's
Oh,
the opposite. So the question is, what is vuncular?
I have no idea.
The only thing I could think of that's similar is vernacular. So I don't know, maybe like terse to the point.
Mm. So at one point, a little before this, they had described Dobrev as like an uncle. And so I was like, maybe he's back to his uncle self, but it's not spelled the
Oh,
same way. So it wouldn't really make sense. But I was thinking like fun and jovial.
okay. And what is it?
Avuncular. Of or relating to an uncle. That's very surprising.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
So suggestive of an uncle, especially in kindliness or geniality. So positive, friendly, kind, or helpful, especially like the expected behavior of an uncle. Wow, that's very interesting.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these like words are just normal words with a lot of like um yeah, like uh, I
Prefixes added on.
prefixes. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Prefix and suffixes. It's hard
Yeah,
to
that
say.
sounds right.
A lot of prefix and suffix added so that you don't know what the word is anymore.
Yeah. It's all hidden.
Yeah, well, and I kind of feel like if that's on purpose, that feels kind of funny because it's like these corporate goons, like they're
Yeah.
just very flowery, and you're just like, oh, so you don't do anything. Is that it?
Yeah.
They're like cracked. This isn't a word. It's more of like a, well, do you know what a Fabergé egg is?
No, I remember seeing that. Is like one of the fancy decorative eggs.
Yes. So I know you said Dobrev, you imagine him as Italian, but I
Yeah.
believe Dobrev is a Russian,
Russian
Slovakian type of
name
last
sounds
name
Russian.
because
Yeah.
you have Nina Dobrev, who is a actress most known for Vampire Diaries, and I believe she's like Ukrainian.
Okay. It does sound Russian.
Okay, it says she's Canadian, but
Well, the actress or the actual character?
the actress, let's see. She was born in Bulgaria.
Okay. Yeah.
Where is Bulgaria?
It's in that general area. I don't know what the area is called, but
Okay. Our American is showing right now. Okay, so Bulgaria is just south of Romania.
It's a Balkan nation. It's a cultural melting pot with Greek, Slavic, Ottoman, and Persian influences.
Dobrev name origin. Okay, it's yeah, so it's just a very Bulgarian last name. But I guess I think of Slavic, which makes me think of like Russian.
Yeah,
But a
that
Fabergé
makes sense.
egg, I remember from Anastasia. I read this like those little
Oh,
diary books.
yeah.
Yeah, and they would be like historical fiction diary books.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I read one on Anastasia, and I believe they had a Fabergé egg, and I think it's like a very fancy egg, which is worth like thousands of dollars, and I believe maybe they open up.
Yes. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, and this description was like a Fabergé egg that was like filled with garbage or something, wasn't it? Something
Yes.
like that.
Yes. Yeah, they're very ornate, kind of like those Christmas ornaments mom used to get us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they open up. Yeah. And they're like Russian. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else? Oh, affectation.
What's a sentence?
I was going to say mascots, but okay, sure. Affectation would work too. He gestured to Hera.
I don't know.
I think it means like personal effects or something.
Oh, what does that have to do with mascots?
Well, because they were all with like their cats and stuff.
Oh.
And
Oh,
so
like an accessory maybe?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay. I'll look it up.
yeah. A deliberate pretense or exaggerated display.
Yeah.
Okay. What is an example of affectation? Oh, this is a different way. A phony accent someone uses to sound more sophisticated. Oh, okay. I was
Okay.
not, based on that definition, that's not where I was going.
Okay, so I guess it could be any sort of characteristic, like how you dress yourself, your accent, a cat that makes you look fancy.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Something you do to make yourself, yeah, look fancy. So in this case, they all
Interesting.
have a cat.
I would buy
I would buy that too.
it.
Shibal, Chaebol. His family's Shabal had recently endured a medium-sized corruption scandal.
I don't know, like their savings, or no, maybe their business, or maybe it means like their clan.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Oh, it's rich family or financial clique is a large industrial South Korean conglomerate run and controlled by an individual or family.
Wait, only in South Korea?
It looks like it's like a large, usually family owned business group in South Korea. Yeah.
What?
Okay.
This is at the end of the book, we always ask author questions. This is my new question for every author is where did you learn these words?
I know.
How do you know this?
Gonad. They would give a
Gonad.
gonad to be where I am right now.
Oh, it's not a reproductive part
Oh,
where all your gametes are made, right?
I have no idea what you're saying.
I if it's not that,
Yeah, that's
forget what
exactly what
I
it
said.
is.
So it's like where your eggs and sperm are made.
Oh, oh, that's funny. Okay. Impinged. You have to understand, Charlie, your uncle impinged on a number of our business concerns.
Isn't it like infringed? I know
That's
those rhyme.
exact that's exactly what I was thinking. My brain's like, oh, infringed. Easy, done.
I kind of feel like it's right though.
Have an effect or impact, especially a negative one.
Sure.
Advance over an area's belonging to someone or something else. Encroach.
That sounds just like infringed.
Yeah, infringe is a synonym. Okay.
Oh, perfect.
So do we need both?
Yeah. Oh, okay. It says impinge is to hit or to strike something. Infringe is to enter into some place in a manner that violates the law.
Oh.
That wasn't a great explanation. I still don't really know.
It seems like there's a lot of different ways to use it because you can use it in a medical term, pinching or rubbing together inside a joint.
Too confusing.
Yeah. To affect something in a way that is unwanted.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess impinge is like it's just affecting it, but infringe, you're actually like going inside of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't
All right. That's it. That's all I have. Do you have any?
know. Those were actually all I had too. I didn't have as many for this section.
Well, a lot of those I pulled out of
Chapter 17.
chapter 17. I'm telling you, everything happened there. I can't believe you didn't read it.
Oh my gosh. I thought I did. I actually started reading chapter 18. So I was like, I don't know if Candy meant to read through chapter 18. So I started reading it and then I didn't finish it. I was like, I don't think we're going to there. So I just totally missed it.
Oh, okay. You need to go back and you need to read it.
Oh man. Okay.
All right. So,
Any closing
final.
thoughts?
Yeah, I think we have just a few more minutes. Oh, 3 minutes. All right. Closing
Oh,
thoughts.
perfect. I think Matilda is definitely going to be our like guide throughout all of this, where like she's
Mhm.
kind of her head is above the water. She knows what's going on. And I think Charlie's going to kind of follow in her footsteps and then become his own sort of his own person and he's going to turn things around for the better and save the dolphins.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Where are you feeling with the book? How many bookies are we cruising to?
I think 3 is feeling good right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a three, 3.5.
Yeah, but it's just my general feeling. So we'll need to go through our detailed rubric to get an exact number.
Yeah, we'll see what happens at the end if there's some big payoff that happens.
There could be.
Are you reading any other books that you want to chit chat about?
No, but we're gonna go camping today, and so I was gonna bring books. So
Ooh, what
I
are you
was thinking about
bringing?
which books to bring. Well, Josh and I have been reading through the Chronicles of Narnia since we started on the podcast, and so we've been working on The Horse and His Boy for a while. So we're gonna bring that one, and maybe
Those
we'll
books are
finish
like
it.
100 pages. How are you working
I
on them for a
know.
while?
Well, because we read them together, and so there's only
Oh,
so often that we actually, you know, are able to read them together.
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Hmm.
So, so that's so it's been slow going. Also, we haven't gotten as into it, but I think it's picking up, so we're gonna get into it.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Page halfway through on page 30 and it's picking up.
Lewis wastes no time. And then there's this other book called Gilead by Marilyn Robinson, I think. I don't know. My friend
Gilead.
recommended Gilead. Yeah,
That does not, hopefully, that does not have to do with the Handmaid's Tale.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, yeah, Gilead, I mean, isn't Gilead a place in the Bible too? I think there's like a lot of different
Oh,
possible
yeah.
meanings of Gilead. But
Mhm.
anyways, it came highly recommended to me and I've started reading it a few different times, but I just haven't like gone into it.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking though if I bring it with me to the woods where I have very few other options, I'll get into it.
Yeah. I bet that's what every author wants to hear. When I had other options, I was not able to read it. But when I was stuck in the woods, I was able to dredge through it.
Sometimes you just got to be realistic.
That's true.
What about you?
I'm reading Fourth Wing, which is
Oh, do you like it?
very popular. Did you suggest it at one
I
point?
feel like we've talked about it before. I've never read it.
I'm reading it because friend of the pod, Meg, hey Meg, she
Woo.
read it and she wanted me to read it to talk about it. And it's very Hunger Games,
Oh, okay, yeah.
like very YA. And it's like if you cut out all the YA nonsense, it's a decent story. Like there's good world building and it's kind of like Harry Potter-ish, where it's like basically a bunch of like people going to dragon school as like college.
Okay.
And they're like learning to become these like hardcore dragon riders.
Okay.
So that concept I like, but it's just riddled with all of this love triangle, weird writing of like this guy came into the room and oh my God, he's so cute. Like, I wish I could just like put my hands in his hair, weird things like that. And I'm like, stop that.
Yeah. I don't want this.
I don't want that.
I
So I don't
get that.
know, but it's very popular on Book Talk. I would be down to do not like a chapter by chapter, but you know,
Section 3 parts or something.
yeah, like a three-parter on it to chit chat about it. But that's only if
Yeah.
people really wanted us to do it.
Would Meg want to join?
I could ask.
I mean, she might not. That's okay.
Yeah, I could
But that
ask.
could be
That could
fun.
be fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we need to start thinking about what we want for our next book. So if anyone has any
True.
suggestions, please drop a comment on Spotify or send us an email, bookalicious@gmail.com.
We'd love to hear from you. We could do another book talk. I was cleaning through my books and I sent you that one, but it's kind of long, so I think that one would be tough. But I saw another book, but I didn't send a picture that we could read together. But I'll need to look through my bookshelf. We were cleaning through our books to
Mm,
get rid of them so we don't have to bring all of them. And I was
mhm.
like, oh, this could be a good book, but I don't remember what it was. I'll get back with you.
Yeah. So I don't know. I know a lot of people say The Court of Rose and Thorns or Thorns and Roses.
Uh,
That's a very
Throne of
popular
Glass?
one by Sarah Mass. Yeah.
Throne of Glass?
Uh,
I
no,
think that's maybe what the series.
it's by Sarah Mass, which is I think it is the let's see. It's about like fairies, basically. If to me, I'm worried it's gonna be very much like the Fourth Wing.
Hmm. It could, although I've heard that one's really good too.
Yeah, maybe that's one we can read independently and see if we want to do it.
Yeah.
So maybe see if you can rent it from the library to see if that's of interest.
Yeah. Yeah. We need some good recommendations. Although we haven't looked at the New York Times list because that was originally our.
Yeah, but I think we want to do the book talk because that's kind of what the Bookalytics is telling us to do.
I know. Yeah. The Fourth Wing is on New York Times.
Yeah, I mean it to be on the New York Times, you just have to be a popular book. And if you're on Book Talk, you're probably a popular book.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. We'll need to look into this.
Yeah.
Do some oh, A Court of Thorn and Roses is also on New York Times.
See,
Yeah, I
that's what
don't
I'm
know.
saying.
Housemaid. Guess what number the Housemaid is
Number
in
one.
paperback trade fiction? Not number one.
Oh, well, it's been on there for 2 years. So maybe it's number two now.
Number four.
Okay.
But it's
Well,
been on the list for 56 weeks.
yeah. Yeah. Housemaid,
Wow.
Housemaid be crushing it.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Man, the Housemaid's Secret. New this week.
Oh my
The
God.
Housemaid's Secret.
Should we
The
do
sound
it?
of crying and the appearance of blood portend misdeeds.
Should we do it? I don't
Don't
know.
know. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe we could. Oh my goodness. Do you want to? Okay, I know we need to cut this off, but just this little preview on Amazon says, as he continues showing me their incredible penthouse apartment, I have a terrible feeling about the woman behind closed doors. But I can't risk losing this job. Not if I want to keep my darkest secrets safe. It sounds like the same thing.
God. Yeah, I don't think I can do it. If people really wanted us to do it, we could do it, but I don't know that I could on my own. Um,
Yeah.
all right. Well, we'll keep our ears open for any recommendations on what people want. But yeah,
Yeah. All right. All right. I need to stop this housemaid rabbit hole. Yeah, we'll keep looking.
yeah. Okay, so that's it.
Sounds good.
Have fun on your
Uh,
vacation. Can't wait to hear about you sleeping in the bus and sleeping in the yurt,
Sailboat?
the sailboat.
Not a yurt.
Okay, not a yurt.
That's too stable. Okay, thanks for potting.
All right, talk to you later.
Love you.
Love
Bye.
you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Bookalicious. If you like this discussion, please rate or subscribe to our channel to help other book lovers find this content as well. If you have any questions or suggestions for future books, we'd love to hear from you at bookalicious.pod@gmail.com. As always, thanks for joining our club.